2, 3.
Students will be able to write decimals and percents as reduced fractions.
When I say our word of the week, diligent, when I say that word, you will turn and chat with your partner. What a prime factor. What are the word?
It only has two factors, one and a two.
You can hear me clap once. You can hear me clap twice. Clap once. Clap twice. What is a prime factor? I heard tons of wonderful turning and shouting. I said tons of them. Randy, what's a prime factor? All about you from Eastern. Hands up. Randy. A prime number is a number that can only be divided by 1 and itself. But if I asked you, prime factor, think of, I think this may trigger something, think of factor tree or division by primes. What are we looking for in a prime factor? David?
What factors equals a prime factor of 1 the prime factors of 56 equals the factor trees of 8 and 7, and going down and 1 and 4, 8 and 4 and 2.
Yeah.
Circle the 2 and go down to the 4. Maybe it's 2 more 2s and circle the 2s. And then we go to the 7. Multiply to 7. So 3 more 2 to the third column. So 3 to
Trying to do it all in your head. That's why I show our work. But very nice explanation. Yeah, it's when we take a number, we find all the prime numbers that could multiply by each other to equal that number. We're going to keep that in mind today. Let's look down at our books under new concept. When I pause, please fill in my missing word. The equivalent fractions pictured below name the same
Amount.
We see that 4/8 is equivalent to
1/2.
Equivalent is a fancy schmancy word for what other word we use all the time? Quinn? Equal. Equivalent means equal. Turn your page, please. Turn and chat with your partner. How would we reduce 4/8?
And then like, divide by 2. And then from there, you cannot do whatever you want. So, actually you can. You then to get 2 halves divided by 2 halves. So you get 1 half. And then 1 half. And even more.
Yeah, but I can
Two, the number 2. Nod your head or shake your head. Can 2 go into both 4 and 8?
Yes.
Yeah, it can. If I reduce this by 2, I know, I would get 2/4. Now, is 2/4, boys and girls, is this fully reduced?
No.
No. What would I still need to do to 2/4 to make it completely reduced? Smallest it could possibly be. Giselle? I would divide this and then by 2. Someone, if I divided that by 2, what would I get? I have a hunch that when you guys were talking to your teammates, you came up with a better way to reduce this fraction. I heard some of you think of an even more efficient way to reduce this fraction. What was that way that you guys thought about? Ashley? Say that one more time. Ashley, are you a psychic? Can you read minds? No? Because you just read my mind. You read my mind. I was going to say, Ashley's probably just going to say, divide this by 4. And then in my mind, I was going to say, oh, boys and girls, remember that thing we talked about called the greatest common factor? You read my mind and did it. Remember GCF means greatest common factor. GCF means
Greatest common factor.
the biggest number that can go into both of these. Absolutely. 4 is the biggest number that can go into both 4 and 8. When we do that, we get the same thing. Why do you think we would choose it to do it this way as opposed to this way? Christopher?
Because it's faster and you have reducing the greatest common factor and it divides it faster.
It's much faster. It's pretty easy when we have smaller numbers like 4/8. But what if you saw a fraction that was 56 over 100? Those are both pretty large even numbers. If I had to divide and divide by 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, that might take my whole entire whiteboard. GCF means
Greatest common factor.
awesome. I need someone to read example number 1, please. Gregory.
They have 4 blue marbles and 8 white marbles in the bag. The 4 marbles are taken in the bag. What is the type of blue
There are 4 blue and 8 white. How many total marbles are there in the entire bag? Ethan? 12. There are a total of 12. Gregory, read that question one more time, the very last question.
What is the probability that a marble is white?
Let's make this into a fraction. Ethan told us that we have 12 total. How many marbles are white, Carla?
8.
White? Oh, did I write it wrong? No. How many?
8.
8. GCF means?
Greatest common factor.
4.
If you can hear me, everyone's raising their hand. Awesome. What is the greatest common factor of 8 and 12? Gabriel. 4. Let's double check, just in case we need to. We always need to double check. What are all of the factors of 8? All the numbers that can fit equally into 8 without any type of arrangement. Ariana? 4 times 2. Very good. Notice how you gave me their buddies. Tony? 1 and 8. Anything else? Let's do 12. Sorry.
1. Can I say all?
You want to say all of them? Go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6,
you get all of them? I'd agree as well. We see, boys and girls, that the greatest common factor, the biggest one they share is what?
4.
The biggest one they share is 4. That means I can divide both the top and the bottom by 4. What is this fraction reduced to? 8/12 divided by its greatest common factor. Divide the top and the bottom by the same number. Francine.
2/3.
Let's look at our next example, number 2. So many to choose from. Let's read it all together on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The value of a dime is 40% of the value of a quarter. Write 40% as a reduced fraction.
8%. My terrible Spanish accent. Por ciento. Means how much. Percent is out of what number? Sergio?
Can you say 1 second?
A percent, a total percent is out of what number?
4.
Not out of 4. Pretend that on a test, you got every single problem right. What percent would you get? 100%. Percents are out of?
100.
Percents are out of?
100.
I want to make 20% into a reduced fraction. First step. Is this a fraction?
No.
It's not a fraction yet. I'm going to make it into a fraction. Percents are out of what number?
100.
Let's do it as a fraction. What would 40% look like as a fraction, Randy? Hundred. Now, I want to find the biggest possible number that can go into 40 and 100. The very largest number that will fit into both of those. Quinn. 20. Why would you say 20?
Because 20 times whatever equals 40 and if you go by 2, it's 1.
That's what I was thinking too. So when I see this number, sometimes I mentally cover up the zeros. And I know that with 4 and 10, I can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, if I add a 0 at the end, I can do the same thing. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So if the greatest common factor is 20, what's my next step to reduce this? Reduce means smaller. What operation will let us make this smaller? Johan? Division. Let's divide by the greatest common factor. 40 divided by 20. Anthony, what's 40 divided by 20? If it helps, mentally cover up those zeros. Pardon me?
40 divided by 20?
Yes, sir.
2.
2. What about 100 divided by 20? Alayli? Our reduced fraction is now 2/5. One last example. Number 3. It's a short one to read. David, go for it.
Example number 3. Reduce 12
Reduce